Well, gang, this is really a Q&A, so you must have some questions on your mind. So just, raise your hands, stand up, and yell them out.
When? First of all, I just thank you all for being here. This is really exciting for me. It's my first time at Comic-Con. I've been a big fan of ElfQuest since I was 11 years old, so I'm really excited to do this. And I just wanted to say, with my sister and my brother-in-law are here, and they're big ElfQuest fans. And my sister Maria is back there. She's got 20 years on.
Ears? Are you wearing ears?
Oh, yeah.
Are these people for real or what?
So when is an excellent question, and I think the answer is as soon as possible. I have a meeting Monday at 2:30 if you want to come. I'm going to Warner Brothers to talk about when and how, but it's not an if, which is nice.
Pete?
That's an excellent question. Did everybody hear that? What's my personal preference for the movie? That's a whole other question. I will answer it if you'd like me to. But no, is it live action? Is it hybrid? Is it CGI? Is it crayon and flashlight? It's not going to be that. Yeah. My personal preference currently is certainly animation and probably a CG computer 3D animation. That's what I mean. Part of me, my heart of hearts, would love it to be 2D cell, but it's a tough world to get that film.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say?
Absolutely, especially in this country, there just unfortunately is still a prejudice that 2D cell means G-rated. And if you guys want ElfQuest the way ElfQuest really is, you gotta go.
Right.
There you go.
We're aiming for PG-14.
As much as the orgy as we can work in this.
Almost just exclusively the orgy. But frankly, so I had the same concern. When I talked to Courtney Valenti, is the executive on the project at Warner Brothers, and she's fantastic and became a fan just recently from my meeting with her. Shared the books with her. She has a 7-year-old daughter, and so after my first meeting, she was really excited about it. I hadn't read the books, and I just said, "Look, you don't have to answer now. Just take the book home and read it with your daughter, and come back and we'll talk." Which is kind of a sucker's bet. So that worked out well. So what the cool thing about Warner Brothers and Courtney Valenti and everybody over there is that they want to they love the property and they want to make it. They're keen to make it as big as possible. And that's kind of what Warner Brothers does. They do big movies. They don't do small movies and so we don't know if it's going to be live action or animation yet, or some sort of hybrid version. I was talking with Chris Tafaria, who's the head of visual effects over at Warner Brothers, and he's excited about the opportunity to do some sort of 300 style hybrid. So that's on the table, and it'll depend a lot on seeing what those tests look like, because I don't quite believe it, frankly. But I'm happy to be wrong, and it'll depend a lot on those tests, and it'll depend a lot on the script that I write, and what we think is the best format for the story.
I think the important thing, as Rawson has told us, is that from age 11 he grew up reading ElfQuest, and when I took my first meeting with him, he was able to quote me chapter and verse, talk about the characters in depth, and the approach he would like to take. And when he left, I said to myself, I hope it's him. It may not be him. There'll be other meetings, but I know I'll never take a better meeting. So,
It's really sweet.
Yeah, that's the way it was.
Well, I didn't say, for the record, I didn't say anything, spectacular, really. I mean, I sat down with Wendy and I just said, look, I haven't invented a new format. It's either going to be film or TV. I think it should be film, and I just kind of want to do what you guys wrote. I don't really want to fuck it up or I don't want to change anything. I just kind of want to, and then Wendy said, well, nobody's ever said that. And, so, I mean, read the books, and you do the books, and then everybody gets cake. Could I possibly get Andrea Romano to conduct the voice acting? I can try to do anything. And I haven't opened a final draft document for the script yet, but under the category of putting the cart before the horse, I will say I'll do my best. How much of the very tricky question. How much of the story will you encompass in the first movie? And gosh, if we do it right, it would be at least 2, maybe 3. At least that's the plan. That's the goal. Who knows? We'll have to go out and see the first one in order for us to make the second one.
Come see the first one.
You and about 10,000 of your friends. Each. Oh, do I have to say?
Yes, you have.
Look at this. Pretty cool, right?
In case you didn't know.
Well, that's a bit of an open discussion as well, and part of my 2:30 sit down with Courtney and Chris tomorrow. But when I originally read them, I was 11. I was on vacation in Cape Hatteras, North Carolina, with my family, and my older sister gave me the books. And when I ever told the story to Wendy, I said it was my older brother because I was sure it was. And then when my older sister found out I said that, I got in a lot of trouble. So let me just say, it was my older sister Tara. She gave me the books, but we only had 3. We only had the first 3. So I know them as books, not as issues. I don't know how everybody else knows them. But Wendy and Richard said that they know them as books too, so that gave me relief. So I read the first 3. And as you all know, at the end of the 3rd book, the elves have been ambushed in the snowy pass, and Cutter's on. Oh, somebody doesn't know. Well, I mean, not here, Cutter's on death's door. Put it like that. And then it's quite a cliffhanger, almost literally, and it stopped. And I didn't have the 3rd book, or the 4th book. And I was livid. I said, "You can't leave me." Because for me, it was my first introduction into the world of fantasy. Up until that point, I had read, basic, morality plays. Don't do good things. Don't do bad things. Do good things. I didn't really learn that, I guess. And so this was the first time, my first introduction, not only to fantasy, but into sort of complex narrative. Not complicated, but more mature. And good guys sometimes did things that are, morally questionable, etc. The interesting stuff, the cool stuff. So for me, I remember very, very vividly, like sitting on my grandparents, in my grandparents' cottage on the bed at like 1 in the morning, flashlight, like the whole thing, right? And so it stops at book 3, and I was like, I didn't know how I was going to make it out of the summer, and weirdly, like 2 houses down, because it was like summer houses, vacation and stuff. There was another family, and there was they had a daughter about my age and a son a little bit younger, and they were reading ElfQuest, and she had the 4th book. That one was my life. Not my wife. Yeah, but. I found out she had the 4th book, and I tapped her by the shoulders. I have to read it, which I learned later was not very cool. Trying to make a move, but so got the 4th book, and it was just badass, And I remember vividly when Cutter and the boys, and the gals push open the armory doors to find 2 edges of treasure, which to me was like pretty much the coolest thing. So yeah, that's how I came to it, and to a long way around answering your question is